Hello, welcome to today's stream. Hi Megan, glad that you're here. Welcome. Welcome to today's stream. Oh, hello. That's not copying how I wanted it to. But if you guys want to see more streaming content, or just kind of see more bullet journaling content, I'm putting links in the chat for both my Instagram and my YouTube. You can see all my old videos there. For today's stream, we're going to be making a spread that kind of talks about all the bullet journals or journals that I use, and then it's also going to kind of show, like, it's going to be a tracker for me so I can track what pages I need to update and what pages I like most in these journals. And then don't forget that every Saturday we have streams at 2, like we are doing today. And so the stream next Saturday is just going to be like a nice, chill stream and stuff. But you guys are here for bullet journaling content, so let's get into it. First things first, we go over some materials. These are the pens I'll be using for today. It is a variety of colors. There isn't a specific color palette, and I'll explain that as we go, but I'm using these, which are Siga pens. I think I got them off Amazon. And then some Papermate Flare medium pens as well. Oh, don't want to. They're in an order for a reason. I also have a variety of washi tape. Ooh, don't want to drop it. So here's some that we'll be using. Some more. And some more. And I know it doesn't all match, but I'll explain that in a sec. And then we will also have these wonderful alphabet sticker sheets that I'll be using as well. And then scissors as usual. And then this lovely page right here comes from my yearly bullet journal. It will be going in there. On the other side, we have my yearly goals, which I've been posting on Instagram, if you guys follow me there. So, for today's spread, basically what we'll do is we will put the journal, a washi tape next to it, like with its name. So like, I'll have the washi tape going across. We'll have a specific pen and washi tape assigned to each journal, and we'll kind of write out the necessary pages and the pages I need to update pretty often for this journal. So yeah. And it'll probably make more sense as I go along. You guys are free to bullet journal with me, or like if I'm background noise, that's cool too. I'll take that, or you're working on other things, 10 out of 10. You do what you gotta do. So I'm gonna start by using these stickers to make the title. And this spread is kind of meant to just kind of be a mismatch of a variety of different things, so I'm not too focused on the palette, so you guys can also use whatever you got. Actually, I'm going to say go for J. And with these stickers, I got 4 of them, and I'm just going to be cycling through them as I do the title here. And my title is just going to be bullet journals. And I guess my purpose for making this spread is that so that I can kind of keep track of what I need to look at more often, because there are some spreads and I know I need to update, and so that's just kind of me. And it's also good so that when I do start a new spread or a new like journal with that style, I know what pages I want to keep inside of it. Now these stickers are really hard to get out, and they rip a lot. cute. I like the way that title looks. Okay. So, let's start with the very first journal. And that is going to be this one, which is my watching journal, or I call it WJ. And basically, it just kind of like tracks all the shows I want to watch, how far I'm into them, because like sometimes I'll start something on like my family's Netflix, but then I'll finish it on my husband's family's Netflix, so this is just kind of that tracker and stuff for it. So, first things first, I also wanted to make sure that I kind of drew the little journal I was doing. I was thinking about doing that, but I'm also not much of an artist, so we'll just color it in and stuff. And the washi tape we'll be using for this one is this nice glitter one. It just kind of was like more of a Hollywood themed washi tape, I would say, with its sparkles. And then I'll just have a black pen. Yeah. And so this journal has a couple different spreads in it. Its main two spreads is just like a page dedicated to like movies I want to watch, and then another page dedicated to shows I want to watch. And those are the main spreads I do in it, so like if I come across a show I want to watch, I'll just like add it in there, and I'll put like all the episodes and seasons so I can always track where I am. Because I always get to that point where I don't know what show to watch, and I'll just sit there and I'm like, what am I supposed to watch? Like, I'll scroll through Netflix for hours. And so I like having this because it's all the shows that I have had interest in at some point, so now I can go back and be like, okay, let's see if I actually like this. And such. And I've added a couple new spreads to it as well. One of those spreads is a podcast spread, because I figured I didn't want to make like a notebook just for podcasts and stuff, and I didn't know where to put any podcast spreads, so I decided I'll just throw it in here because it kind of falls under the same category. So, oh hello. So over here, we're going to go like that. So on one side, we're going to have two lists under each journal. Is kind of necessary pages and pages to update. And so I guess not. This one doesn't necessarily have necessary ones, just like ones that I should make often. So currently I have a Marvel pages, and this one is all the Marvel movies and shows. Oh, hi Adrian. So this page, this Marvel page, has all the Marvel movies and shows in chronological order for me to watch and stuff. And then I also have my Disney pages, which is all the Disney animated movies as well, because I wanted to watch all of them, and they're in order of when they're released, so I'm starting from the beginning and going through them. Okay. And then my shows to watch pages are necessary, and my movies to watch pages. And these pages are like, I'm nowhere near being done with this, or I'm about halfway. But so here are my pages so far. So here's my Marvel timeline. It covers a lot of pages. I'm not that deep into it. Most of what I watched are all the ones that are coming out this year. So like What If, Shang-Chi, Eternals, when I created this. Doctor Strange, Love and Thunder came out recently, so I'll probably go out and watch that. Moon Knight's on here, and all that jazz. And then here's an example of movies to watch, so it's just the title. And I don't really have a specific theme for this one, so I just kind of have all these lovely pretty colors and a box to kind of color in if I finished it. And then here are shows to watch. Obviously this is out of date because at this point Stranger Things only had 3 seasons, but now it has 4. As you can see, I never got that into it, but who knows. So it has all these shows I wanted to watch. Some I finished, some I've started, some I definitely haven't. Here's my Disney animated movie spread. So it's got all of them. I'm not that deep into it. I'm on Dumbo now because I usually get distracted by other things I want to watch. And yeah. And then more shows to watch. This one, Disney had a Halloween stream, and I did that last year in October, and I kind of watched some of the shows they put up. And then this is a new style for my shows to watch spread. I just have episode numbers across the top and shows going down, and I color them in as I finish. But yeah. And then, I should put podcasts on the list. Here's my podcast spread. So this one's Welcome to Night Vale. It keeps updating, so I gave it some space. A Daily Lift. And this one is called Serial Killers. Don't judge me. Another shows to watch spread. And this is a new spread that will be going for August. And it is a month of Crash Course. And I'll kind of show this more on Instagram next month. What's my favorite podcast? Oh, I would say Welcome to Night Vale. That one's my favorite right now. I don't listen to a lot, but it's just kind of like, here, I'll show you the spread for it. It's this one. It's basically a satire on America, and it just like, you're basically listening to this random radio host kind of talking about the thing, like his community and stuff, and he gives the weather and all that jazz. Scary stories. Is that your favorite podcast, or Megan? Or, I mean, Welcome to Night Vale does have some scary stories in it too. No, that's what I thought Welcome to Night Vale was. Yeah, it kind of is. Like, I don't know, I listen to weird podcasts, so it's not, if you listen to it, you're not gonna get some cute life lessons. You're just gonna get some weird things. Like in the first episode, they talk about how a portal to another dimension opened up and let out a bunch of dinosaurs, and one of the football players got too close, so now he has a second head that speaks Russian, and his mom likes the Russian head better. Like, it's weird. It's really weird. So you gotta have a certain taste for it. What is your guys' favorite podcast? Because I would love podcast recommendations if you guys have it. Adrian says The Rusty Quill and Magnus Archive. Okay, what are those about? If you can describe it. each episode is like a creepy story. Ooh, I like that. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna write that one down. I'm gonna write them down. Okay, so they're one thing. So each episode is a creepy story. That looks cool. So I'll write that down so I can listen to it in the future and add it to my spread. And then, so I have on this bullet journal spread, this is the first one. I have the journal, a washi tape across, necessary pages, and pages to update so I can kind of go through. And then there's more room if I need to add more lists or things to track. Mine is on Apple, you think? It's like it's an Apple podcast specifically, or what do you mean, Megan? Yeah, I'm trying to find it maybe on Apple Music. Okay. This next journal, I'll be using a black pen again, and this kind of basic gold washi tape that has a little fancy design on it. And this next journal is my spiritual journal. And that is a really weird painting now that I realize that. Ooh, and I'll say this with my notebooks as well. This notebook that my watching journal came from, I got this at the Japan Pavilion at Epcot, and it's just a grid notebook, and it's themed on like Kiki's delivery service, so it's really cute in my opinion. I love it. And then this journal, I think my dad got it for me at the, seems like you can get at havenlight.com, or I think the Deseret Book may also sell these. And this is just a painting by a very famous author. It's called Sometimes the Spirit Touches Us Through Our Weakness, and it's by James C. Christensen. So that's the painting. So this is my spiritual journal. Set that there. And so basically the purpose of this journal is that if I am in the just kind of for good vibes. So if I go somewhere, if I go to hear someone talk, or I want to get some inspiration and just have a good thing, or I also use it for doing some personal spiritual study for my church. That's kind of the purpose of this journal. And so, for example, we every year our church does a general conference, which is just the ladies of our church kind of give it talks that are displayed on TV. So I kind of journal in here as those talks are given and take notes. And then you guys should have seen this on Instagram. You follow me there. I also did a media intake for my Sunday kind of spread in there. So those are the other spreads in here. And this one, I just finished my old spiritual journal, so this is a new one. So it doesn't have much in here, but yeah. And I think I have some spreads I do need to add into it, such as an index. rarely do I have any sort of habit tracker or like anything to track in these. It's just more of like spiritual dump in my mind. And like, for you guys, if you aren't like a spiritual sort of person, you can kind of get this, like, you can just have a journal where like if you feel inspired at something, or there's like events you go to, like TED Talks or whatever, it's just a great way to like kind of take notes from those. And some of my writing prompts do come from my spiritual journal. I'll kind of go through it, and like there'll be questions that either the speaker asks or that I ask myself, and I'll take them and put them into things. Spiritual things agent, easily trackable. So I like the dump pages idea. Yeah. And so like if I have questions from the person, like what is your mission in life, I'll take that, and I may even use that as a journaling prompt later, and I can kind of pull, like if I put certain readings in it, or like, oh, go listen to this speaker again, I can go back and like look through these and then pull it out and do it again. Or like actionable items, because sometimes when I am dumping things in here while listening, I'll maybe like make a list of actions I want to take. So I think this one I always go back and read through at some point. Spiritual things aren't. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Make it. And for this journal, I'm probably going to be adding an index to it at the very back, so that as I fill up the pages, I can know what I'm looking for. If like, sometimes if I have an experience, very important experience in my life, I'll write it in this journal specifically, and then I can like go back to that experience if I need it. So yeah, that's the purpose of this journal. Now, on to the next one, and that is this lovely notebook. It says, do more of what makes you happy. And I'll be using this blue washi tape with a blue Siga pen, so we're going to have some color change up here. And so this notebook, I don't know where it was got specifically, but my dad gave it to me. He usually, like if he gets notebooks that he's not going to use, he ends up giving it to me, so that's usually what happens. So he just feeds my notebook addiction. Now this notebook has pretty long pages because I've been struggling to find a way to use it, and it's kind of gone through a variety of uses, and like I've used it for some classes to take notes, and after that class is done, I'll kind of tear the pages out and stuff. But this journal's current purpose is writing practice. So I really enjoy writing in my free time, and kind of, wow, this is thick washi tape. I might cut it in half. I'll let you do that because of how thick it is. But sometime in my free time, I like writing and just kind of getting words on pages, and kind of what would get me in the writing mood the most, especially when it came to, because I would write mostly like short stories or books I want to write and work on, is that I would usually have a notebook that just has all my most current writings in it, and over time I would just kind of like fill it up either like when I'm out and about or in class, just, you know, name it. You name it. And so that's what this notebook's for. It's currently my writing journal, just to kind of work on short stories or plots, all that jazz. It's just more of like, get words on page. I'll bring it somewhere with me if I am bored. So it doesn't really have any necessary pages or pages to update. Well, it does have one as page to update. And that is my index. And the purpose more of my index in here is just kind of track of like what I'm working on for certain pages. And like what's on them, all that jazz. So I'll show you guys inside this one. This is when I first got the notebook, October 22nd and all that jazz, but just some stories I'm working on, table of contents, and then writing. But yeah, and then I've slowly begun numbering the pages. But yeah, that's this journal. Not much to it, but it's a good one to have, and it kind of makes me more willing to write because I have a place to write, and then I can take those pages and add them to a story or put them online if I want. When I was in middle school, I would write all my fan fiction in there and post it on Wattpad. I was great at Wattpad way back when. I had good stories on there. This next journal we'll be using this kind of nature-y. It's got some flowers on it, you guys can't see well, and then just some plants, and it's like purples and greens and a pale pink. And then I just have a purple Sega pen for it. And this journal is for my books journal. So you guys have seen me I created, last month I created my reading journal set up in here, and I post a lot of certain reading pages in here as well. There's a lot of pages in here, so I'm going to kind of go through each page and kind of assign them either to the list of necessary or pages to update. Yeah. This is my reading journal. With my reading journal, it's more of a tracker than it is like I talk about what I read. I've seen people like Books with Chloe, when she creates her reading journal, what she likes to do is or some other journal, I don't think she does as much, but she's used to is have a page for each book, and she'd write the quotes and her thoughts on it and anything else she wanted to talk about with it. I don't usually do that with books. This is more of a tracker and that type of thing. Okay, where's this washi tape end? And this notebook, it was just a plain like tan notebook and stuff. I don't know where I got it from. It might also be a miscellaneous notebook my dad got me at some point or another. But I got this coloring page, the skull coloring page from this Taka coloring book I have, and so I kind of colored it and stuck it on and wrote books. My husband has informed me that I should have put both O's in here, so it would be Boo, which I think is a wonderful idea. I got sneezed. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is my reading journal. I love it very much. I use it a lot, so. I know there'll be a lot of pages in here, so I'm gonna give it some space. And kind of set this up, and then I'll flip through this notebook, and as I flip through, I can take care of it. flip through time. This is my old personal library spread, so I will put that on the necessary side and pages to update. So yeah. And then this was like way back when I had, you guys can't see it that well. It was my October reading. I had a reading challenge in there that I am not working on. My November reading, some more November reading. And then this was from an L.I.L reading planner that I kind of pulled out some pages of and glued in. I have this favorite book spread. And it's kind of more of a TBR. So it's a yearly TBR for the books that I own that I want to read. So yeah. And then these are my 2022 reads so far. So this is kind of like the first half of the year and what I've read. So I just kind of have this stack of books and I color in and put in the titles. A little messy, but that's okay. So I'll put that in my pages to update. So everything I've read this year. Next is a series tracker. So this is just kind of like all the books on the shelves, and each book is like, this is one series, this is another, so on and so forth. And so as I read through a series, I'll create a little stack for them and write in the books. And then this one and these next ones are just kind of Book of Mormon challenge, so it's a really big book. Lots of chapters, lots of little stories, so I just kind of have it all written out here so I can kind of track how far I'm reading it. And it's just kind of something I read throughout this year, or I'm trying to. So, next we got an example of the monthly pages, or my monthly spreads. So this was January of this year, or January, or maybe this was February, these two. There's March, April, we kind of played around with different designs, and then this is a necessary page or one that I need to update. It's just all the short stories and poems I've read this year. Library books is a good one. So as I check out a book, I put down the book, the day it's due, and the progress, and I usually count it by either hundreds or 50s, and then so as I read through it, I can color it in. So yeah, and this one's kind of full, so I do have another one later. Here's my May reading. I had a boba theme, and you guys saw this was my June one, and I have matching washi tape, as I did on the spread here and on this one. Some more library reads. So this is more of like a library TBR. So these are all the books that I want to read this year that I've like found on BookTube that I do want to read. So I list them here so I can go through these first and like get them from the library and then do it. Here are some of my creative nonfiction reads so far. There's a summer reading program in my area, so this is kind of some information about that. Another personal library setup. Here are my most recent library book spread, and another 2022 yearly reads, and I've had some of this year's reads thrown in. Yeah, and I'm getting near the end of this. I still got a good amount of pages left, but I am filling it up. But yeah, I really like this one. I use this one a lot, and I kind of update weekly. So let's finish out this little section. There we go. And this page is filling up fast, so I'll probably need to make a second page soon. And I'm going to try and get through all my journals today. If I get close to the 2-hour point, I will probably stop, depending on how many I have left. But we'll see how that goes. Take it one day at a time. This next journal, and these, so far I've been just kind of going in order of size. So we're on to my next one, which I will be using a black pen for, and this thick gold washi tape, which I will also cut in half. So this notebook is, the NS here is for Newt Scamander. It's like kind of a example of his journal and stuff. You open up the front, it's nice and blue, it's got a magnetic closure, property of, and when you open it, you can kind of get a little bit about Newt and his case. And so it's just kind of play on his notebook. I don't think there's anything in the back. There is a pocket in the back. I like journals with pockets in the back, but I never tend to use them. So yeah. And I also like this one because it just kind of looks perfectly beat up and such. Yeah. So this journal is kind of, it has a different purpose. It's more of a tracker. I talked about my writing journal where I just kind of like practice writing my stories and just getting my ideas out. This one is more of like, this is where I track my stories, like, or write plot structure. I talk about my characters, or I come up with characters. I write story ideas that I haven't really developed yet, that type of thing. So it is another writing journal of sorts, but it's more of like a planner, so I might call it writing planner. Yeah. And I'll open it up and kind of flip through some of the pages as I go. And so as I'm going through these journals, this spread is mostly for me so that I can kind of see which ones I have, remember what spreads I need to make or update and check in on. For you guys though, I hope it gives you some ideas. You could also like kind of track what journals you have if you use multiple. If you don't use multiple, you could also kind of see if you do want to use more than one in the future, or it's like, oh, maybe there's like a journal you've been needing, like, oh, you do need a journal to kind of start tracking or working on writing or reading or whatever. You guys can get some ideas from here. And I know not a lot of people use multiple bullet journals. I do, because if I crammed everything into one, I would always forget to go back to certain pages. So I use multiple, and each has a different purpose, so that if I need to like fulfill that purpose, such as planning a plot of a story, I can just go to this one and that type of thing. So yeah, I'll quickly set up the spread down here on my page right here at the bottom, and then we will do a nice little flip through as we go. But yeah, maybe from today you see like, oh, maybe I do want to start doing this type of bullet journaling, or if you don't bullet journal as much and you kind of use a planner, maybe you'll get into bullet journaling in a smaller sense, like with a reading or writing journal. But yeah, we're just having a nice little talk about the types of journals you can do. And if you see a journal and you're like, hey, I want to see you make one of the spreads, pop it down in the chat. You can also message me on Instagram. Do what you gotta do, and I can kind of put one together for you. let's see what we got in here. So first things first, I got this lovely little writing journal page. It's just kind of a nice title page. This one is kind of a plot structure where I kind of have it chapter by chapter, what I want to happen. This one was win a writing contest, and so this is one of the pages I want. It just kind of tells the story and how many edits I need. So these are all my short stories. Have I finished writing them, and how many edits I have done on them, and any notes. And then on this side, we have, this is more of a submittable tracker. So a submittable is a place you can submit short stories, essays, poems, etc., like any type of writing. And so here's all like the places that I've submitted to, the day it was due, the story I submitted, and then like when I submitted it, and then I'll highlight it if it was accepted. And so I do have one lovely acceptance, and I'm working on getting that story published. Here's another layout for a plot structure. It's kind of book by book and that type of thing. This is more of a kind of brain dump page. So I'm going to put that on my spread. And this page, you just kind of like either characters or plot story ideas are just kind of written in different colors all down the page. Here's another story plot structure. These are the poetry ones, and it's a different type of editing page. So I got where I want to go with it right now, right? And then I can like check off that I either reviewed or edited it, and then I can kind of go in again and be like, okay, what's next? And then this one is more of, I found this list of websites that you can like, that are good for writers. So I'm going to check them out and kind of write out what I am doing, what their purpose is, and if I'll use them. Yeah. And then this is the story getting published, and I'm just kind of, this is just kind of important information that I need from the thing. And then this is just a character questionnaire or questions that I have. So like as I get more character stuff or come up with characters, I can look through this if I need help getting to know them a bit better. And that's it so far. I haven't used it a lot, but yeah, that's this one. And this one, I think my mom got it for me off Amazon. You could also probably find it at a place like Hot Topic or Box Lunch. So, and it looks like we have filled this lovely page. So I've finished coloring this line in. So here's our first page on the bullet journal thing. I have 5 journals on here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 10 more to go. So here's that spread. So I just got this cute box, the journal, washi tape, necessary pages, and pages to update. And so then I can also see what journals I've been using this year, and I can also go through and be like, okay, I haven't used this one much, I don't like it anymore, and I'll find use for these pages somewhere else. Like this one, the spiritual journal, totally necessary, I use it a lot. Writing journal, totally necessary, I use it a lot. So with reading, maybe my writing journal, this writing planner merges with this writing journal as well, like just kind of a good visual for me to see where I'm at and what else I need with my journals. So we'll be doing a couple more spreads. I still got like a good hour, so I'm gonna just pop this back in here And this is a Happy Planner journal, and I love that I can kind of take pages in and out without tearing them. It's amazing. Makes it a lot, especially easy to bullet journal, so you don't have to worry about rings in the middle and that type of thing. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, so we'll do this funky title again. I am curious though, with you guys, do you have multiple bullet journals? Do you just have one? Or are you just like not the journaling type? Or what do you guys use? How do you plan? What do you keep track of? Because I am a maximalist journal for sure, so I have a lot of bullet journals that I use and go through all the time. And if that's not your cup of tea, that's totally fine. Like if you just need one, or you're like, I don't need to track all that, that's chill. I track it all just because A, I'm crazy, and B, I don't want to lose anything. I don't like losing important information that I gather or ideas that I have. So I have these so that I can keep it all safe and not have to worry about losing it, and then I can like go back to it whenever I need to. Like I don't want to lose all those shows that I've like thought were interesting, because I'm bad at forgetting. So my watching journal really helps with that. Much love. Oh, thank you, Damarty. Thank you for joining us. You're awesome. Ah! You're so sweet. You are way too sweet to me. Stop it. Sorry guys, my husband's flirting with me in the chat. Crazy. Talk to you later. Okay. Have fun at work, love. Yeah. But if you guys do use multiple journals, what are their uses? I would love to know. Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Or if you just use one, what's like, do you use it for something specifically? Like maybe you just bullet journal for work, or you just bullet journal when it comes to school or planning. What do you journal for? Why do you journal? Okay. Last sticker. So this spread will basically be set up the same way as the last one, focusing on all these wonderful notebooks. Okay. So this next notebook will be using this silver dot washi tape and another gray Siga pen. And this one is my notes book. That's what I call it. And I gave it that name specifically when I decorated it with these lovely cat monster stickers. Because that's the person I am. So, the purpose of my notes book is it's more of like a collections journal, I would say. And its main purpose is just to hold like certain lists before I'm able to journal them or give them a home. And I'll kind of show what that means in a bit. It's just kind of like, it's a good brain dump journal, and I think having one of those is great for making sure like you have a place to dump all your information on a weekly basis. And like you can always go back and find ideas or stuff. One thing for me is I'll get bored and I'm like, I want a bullet journal, but I don't know what to journal. Or like I want to be creative, and so I'll like go to this, and I'll kind of have like maybe a list of things I could journal about and stuff. So yeah. Put in the washi tape, and we'll get started on this spread. This journal spread. In this journal, it doesn't have a color palette or theme really. It's just kind of like whatever pen I have on hand I want to use, etc. Yeah. Okay, if you do find these Siga pens on Amazon, by the way, they have a tendency, it's a nice like felt plasticky tip, but they do have a tendency to kind of splinter, and so it kind of messes with the way you write things. It's a little annoying and such, so yeah. I'm gonna just make one list of necessary pages / pages to update because there's not necessary pages, and I just kind of filled in this with my blue stickers because I wanted to. And this journal, where it came from, is Office Depot. You can make your own notebooks there in a sense. You can go online to their website. This is an ad. I just used to work there and I knew all the ways to do this. I kind of designed this lovely bank page, made it double-sided, printed it a ton, like 100 I think. Made sure there was a purple page in the front and back to kind of as a cover page, and then this title, and like you can buy these it in this size or other sizes, and they'll just hole punch the pages and sides and put a ring in it, so it's a ringed notebook. So some of these pages have titles that have been given up that I don't use anymore. So this one is just more of like tasty or recipes I want to try. Next, we got quotes and stories to read. And so, like, this quotes page is just kind of like, if I need a quote for my notebook or anything, I can just kind of pull it from here and add it to my journal and use it. I also got ideas for me as a teacher, because I am starting to be one. Like a to-do list of more interesting activities, more quotes, and journaling prompts. And a TBR. So yeah, it's just more of a brain dump page. Not much to it. It's got some fun cat monster stickers. But yeah, if you guys do kind of want to make your own notebook where you design the layout of the pages and stuff, you can use Office Depot for that. But yeah, that's it for that notebook. This next one is going to have this lovely striped washi tape, and a green Papermate Flare pen to match. And this notebook is a little bit bigger, so I'll wait to put it on screen until after I've got the setup made. And this notebook is my kind of scrapbook in a sense. I do have, like, we journal at the end of every stream, and we kind of journal. I have this monthly journaling challenge right now, so I have a notebook for kind of writing about my life, and this one is just kind of like memories, like physical objects to remember by. So it's my scrap book journal. And it doesn't really have any necessary pages, so I'll kind of just make a tiny note saying, like, just put your life in here. And it also doesn't really have pages to update. So, yeah. This notebook's just good for me to, like, look back and find memories from, or like to show my kids or grandkids one day. So here's a lovely notebook. It's huge. It's bulging. It's kind of, if you look at it from the side, it's very thick. And I got this from Walmart in the, like, school supply section. It's dot grid, which I love. So let's do a nice little flip through. First, I do have some more confidence pages. I went to my cousin's when I went, so I got, like, don't wait for sleep to start dreaming. Got some stuff. I went to a music fest, so I have that in here. More little notes. This is kind of, I'm taking this old planner that I don't really like, so I'm just kind of putting in what I put on all those days and what's going on. So that's from 2019. We'll do a nice quick more journaling. And here I got a lovely quote thingy. And then I got some stuff stuck in. What's this? It's a list of things. So I went to my grandparents, and she kind of had me come up with a journaling list of things I will miss, and on the other side, things I won't miss when I, like, move and stuff. More journaling, the calendar page. This page is falling out. Another quote. Little pocket with some stuff in. These pages have been taped in. This is a lovely letter from my grandpa. Some pictures. Some cards that I've gotten. And more pictures. Christmas cards. This is my dad made this lovely plan for Christmas, so here's our itinerary and what we'll be eating. And here's the playlist that went with it. More cards, more pictures, they're a little hard to see. More pictures from way back when, cards, tickets. And so yeah, this is just kind of a scrapbook of all these things that I get and I want to keep and stuff. So, and I also like the cards that you kind of can fold out and stuff. Or little pockets. And yeah. So I do encourage you guys to, like, make these. Stick them in. It's always fun. Great way to cheer yourself up. And, like, one thing is that, let's see here if I can slide it over. This page isn't full, so until I find something to fill this half, I'll just use the future pages and stuff. I got the Amanda Rach Lear journal set, so I have that in there. Other stuff. And then this spread is kind of my favorite. I'm not one for wearing friendship bracelets, but I don't want to lose them, so I keep them in here. So this one was made by my stepsister Adrian, and I really love it. This is made by my friend Lisa. I don't know where this one came from. These ones were made by my cousin. This one was made at girls' camp, and so is this one. So they just all have a purpose. I don't wear jewelry a lot, but I wanted to make sure I honored those people who gave me these lovely pieces of jewelry. Shout out to Adrienne if she's still watching. But yeah. And that's the purpose of this lovely notebook. So I encourage you guys to kind of make that, especially like, and you don't really need to put much effort to it, just like use some washi tape to stick things down, some glue, just anything you get that you want to keep and find important. And it's a great thing to look through, like with all the letters and stuff, to show that like, hey, I'm still loved. It's okay. Now, this next one also doesn't have a lot of necessary pages either. So it will also just kind of be like this, and it is very similar to my scrapbook one. First, I'm going to tell you the story of how I got this next notebook. So, what I do remember is that I wasn't having a great day. I was stressed about school and everything that was going on. It was like the beginning to middle of the semester. I just wasn't having a good time. And so I'm having a rough time, and my boyfriend at the time, he's not my husband, at the time was like, hey, let's go get the anniversary gift that I'm going to get for you, and you get to help me pick it out. And so he starts taking me out of my apartment to Desert Book to pick up a journal, and it's a journal for us that will have both our names engraved on it, and that's his year of dating anniversary gift to me. And so, sorry, I just had to write in focus. He's like, okay, let's go get this journal. So I go with him to get it, and here's the journal itself, and it has our names on it engraved. And right as we left the elevator of my apartment building, after teasing me the whole ride down, he gets down on one knee and he proposes then and there, right outside the elevator in my lovely apartment complex and stuff. So I got this journal the day I was proposed to. It means a lot to me, and since my husband got it for us to kind of share, I have turned it more into a romance journal. So here we have the day I was engaged, where his entry and my entry at the bottom and stuff, and more information. Note that I want to send to him. We have some letters, love letters on the side that we've sent to each other. We got our wedding invitation and some other things from it. And that's kind of the front. I have some pages I do want to add an update to it, just haven't yet. And then here in the back, we just have all our date receipts in it. Not like receipt like we bought this, but it's like, here's a scorecard, here's movie tickets, lagoon tickets, airplane tickets, we got more movie tickets. Just anything, like if the date left something behind, I'm going to take a note of it. So like, here's we went to the farmer's market date, I made a little note of it, but it's just like if there was something physical I got from it, it's going in here. And so that's the purpose of this lovely notebook. If you guys are engaged, you got a loved one, you got your spouse, significant other, you name it, or somebody else important in your life like a best friend, I encourage you to make a journal where it's just stuff for you two. And take turns writing about the same memory. So like, you guys both went to the same event, write about it. You guys both had a good time together, write about it, just journal together and stuff. Okay. Now this next one also doesn't have necessary pages, but I am going to add it, and it is my severely underdecorated sketchbook, which I should probably add stickers to. But yeah, this next one's my sketchbook, and I kind of have it open right now because I am using it to kind of tell me how to set up my spreads here. But yeah, my sketchbook, I'm going to count it as one of my journals just because I think journaling can take place in different ways, and I think a sketchbook can definitely tell a story about who you are, what your interests are, kind of where you are in your progression of art, and that type of thing, or like what projects you work on. So. And basically my sketchbook, it does have like some sketches or doodles in it, or if I get bored, I kind of, more of an abstract artist, I just take a set of markers and I color until I like the way the colors are mixed together and such. And I just used, by the way, my blue flare and this sprinkles washi tape that I really like. It's really cute. And I think that summed up this journal the best. But let's take a look in my sketchbook if you guys want. That's kind of what we're doing. Some practice sketches here in the front. More practice sketches, washi tape designs, a kind of tester page, more tester pages. Here's what I'm using today. Here's a different journal that I'm working on setting up. Here's today's setup. More pages, a project, some sketches for designs for one of my classes. This is when I created the stickers for March, so here's that design setup, swatches and stuff, bullet journaling ideas, more swatches, more projects. Here's some theme palettes and color palettes as I've made them, testing more things. This was this reading journal design, so for my class, for my major, for the English department, I created this lovely little reading journal. There's a whole video on it on Instagram, but so here's my sketches for it before I created it in Illustrator, I believe. And so here's the finished project. And I am kind of trying to think of making one for my mom because she really liked it and she thought it was cool. So I was thinking, oh, I would practice making that. Some pages stuck together, some swatches, more setups. I got next, these ones are just kind of all those quotes, so when I did the month of quotes, here they all are. And I kind of leave a page in the middle just because it's stuff, but I'll come back and use these pages, but they bled through, so I don't want to use it just yet. And I've used a good portion of this. Got some mild liner testers, and then this is just testing some markers here as well. But yeah, and then I made this with last month's theme to kind of advertise my Twitch. But yeah, that is my sketchbook. It's just a great place to hold all my projects and what I'm working on. Highly encourage using one. Okay, next notebook. What's after sketchbook? I do have a list and such. And we're getting there. We're on book number 10, which is my design bullet journal. It's got the constellations and the stars. Okay. So we got this lovely kind of passport-y type washi tape with stamps and colors. And then I'm pretty sure I went with this magenta Siga pen. Or bright pink more than a magenta. And this one does have some necessary pages that I need to talk about or kind of make a list of, so I will be doing that. So let's get this set up again. And we have necessary and pages to update. There's a couple, so I'll draw the line. Don't die on me, please. Okay. So, I got a lot of small notebooks that I usually use. Great for me. This one I got, I think it was from Barnes & Noble. It was in a set of 3. My friend Anne Marie got it for me. So she gave me this lovely 3rd set. So this just kind of has like a couple random pages in it. At the start, I have the end of 2021. So I have a year at a glance, and then this, my November spreads, which you guys can see at the very beginning of my Instagram, the way I set that up. I really liked this theme. It was very cute. And then I love my Happy Holiday spread, Christmas gift spread, and then my December 2021 spread. So this was just kind of like I needed a place for it, so I tossed it in here. Wasn't necessary, but it did. And then I also did a kind of a month of service. So the rest of these pages are just more of like practice pages. So I don't really need to update. I have these roll of stickers, so these are an example of all the stickers on them, so that I can be like, okay, what stickers can I pull from? I saw a notebook there, you kind of do these, so I kind of practice some doodles in here. I also practice some notes layouts and that type of thing. Just slight practice, kind of seeing how they work and how I could use them in my notes. This right here is more of a, this is a layout for each of like a day, so I could lay out a day like this for a theme, or this is how I could do a whole week, or another weekly layout in my planner. I have not anything in between. Here's a little color palette that I like, another way to lay out my week, and I got some blank pages. This is another practice for a cover page that I'm working on. It's a quilting theme. And then I have all my washi tape swatches. So here's all my washi tapes and swatches. And I really like this. I think this type of notebook is very helpful, especially for new bullet journals, so you can kind of practice how you want to do layouts, titles, etc. And kind of have all that in one place, so if you need a good layout idea, you can have it. And then I like using this, so if I need to find a washi tape, or like I want to use them but I don't know which to use, I can kind of look in here and pick it out as necessary. And I have a lot, if you guys cannot tell. But yeah, so that's the purpose of this lovely notebook. And it's running out of pages quickly, so I will need to make a new one soon enough. But yeah. On to the next one. Okay, so this one will use the black pen and this lovely striped washi tape. this one, let's see here. So this one isn't like, it's also going to be one of these. It's just a journal that I use. It doesn't have it has one purpose and one purpose only. And so yeah, this is just it's kind of like a brain dump page in a sense, or just like, it's a throwaway journal is what I would call it. And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, just a journal you trash. It does have a purpose, and once it fulfills that purpose completely and I use up all the pages, I'll be done with it. And so this is my page a day notebook. So here it is. It is Write in the Rain brand. So basically, Write in the Rain is just a notebook brand that all the pages are waterproof, so you can write in the rain, and kind of like if you need to journal outside a lot, or you want a more weatherproof journal because you're prone to spilling drinks on it and stuff, this is the journal for you. Usually has an instruction sheet in the beginning and an explanation in the back. However, as much as I like this journal, they do have specific writing instruments that go with it, because I can write on this and it has a high tendency to smear when writing on this. So I kind of use this journal in two ways. Number one way, if you could not tell by all the messy numbers, is this is the journal where I track my pages a day. So when I am tracking how many pages I read each day for my reading journal and for my daily habits and my weekly planner, I use this. So I'll write like, oh, I read from page 74 to 326, and then I read 10 pages from somewhere else and 7 pages somewhere else. And then I'll calculate it in total, and I'll check it off, leave a check mark right next to kind of the area of where I've read, or like once that day I've used all those numbers. I also kind of put some notes in here, like if I just need to like throw down some ideas real quick and this is the only thing I have, I'll put in here. And it's also a good way to kind of get Archer and Olive or other paint markers started. So that's its only purpose. I keep it with me wherever I go. It's a nice throwaway journal. If you do need to track something that's more number oriented, like pages a day, I suggest just getting a throwaway journal. And I use my Write in the Rain one just because I have so many like pens that smear so easily with this type of journal, so I don't like it as much for any other type of journaling. Sorry, Write in the Rain. You're not my favorite. Okay. On to the next one. So this one, right? Okay. Yes. So this one I have this, it's just kind of like, it's a blue background with some orange and brown leaves and some birds on branches, washi tape. And then it has my Siga kind of light blue pen. And so this journal, this next journal, it has two main purposes, and I'm using it for those purposes just because I don't have any other place to do it. So it is my content journal, and it also has my what's it called? My book reviews. So let's pull it out. This is it. So where I got this, it is from an L.I.L crate, which is a reading subscription box. So they send you a book each month with a couple other items with it. And so I don't remember what month I got it. This was a while ago, and I will tell you that for sure. But I never really used it for like originally as a reading journal. Like, I have my bullet journal, I have the way it's set up to the way I like, and I don't like the way this one's set up, so I haven't used it yet. But what I have been doing is I'll take pages out of it and use those pages to kind of in my reading journal or somewhere else for it. So first things first, I'll kind of do a flip through with it and also kind of write at the same time. So it does have some book reviews which I posted, so I use that. And I've started doing book reviews just this month, so I figured to kind of use up these pages that it has. It also has calendar pages, which I color code to be more like content planning. So I have red for streams, orange story, green post, and blue for reels. And so as I content plan, I can put it in here. And at the beginning of the day, I can see, okay, this is what I'm posting. And if I pre-post made, I can kind of write it in here and stuff. Then these are some other pages they have in here. There's a new releases this month. You may recognize this. It is in my reading journal as like a library chapter. I just replaced the title, like library TBR. Here's a monthly TBR. I've also used these pages in my reading journal. More book reviews. Here's this month's content planning. We are on today and all that jazz. It's in this one's color palette. It's just a good way for me to do some planning. And then besides all these wonderful calendars and stuff in the front with book reviews, I'm pretty sure the back changes. Almost there. Yes, the back turns into weeklies. So it has the day, to-do list, reading list, and notes. And that's just the back section. And so I never really tossed this, even though I didn't use it, just because I want to give it a use. And so this is me giving it a use. It is a good reading journal if you do want one. I got it from L.I.L. I know they do other ones, and they are also undated, so that's what makes them amazing. So you can use them like if you don't use your reading journal a lot. So highly recommend that. So I just kind of wrote down here the pages it does have, and then I can kind of pull them out as I use them. So, what journals are we on? So we just finished journal number 12. So that's this one. And so we're going to flip over, make one more setup, and we will do our last 3 notebooks in here. And these last 3 are the ones I use the most, so, which is exciting. And you guys will probably recognize these last 2 journals just because I post them the most, I use them on stream a lot, etc. So when it comes to that reading journal planner thing, I do highly recommend that if you are new to bullet journaling and stuff and you're just or you want to get into it but you're terrified, get a cute planner first. Start with one that's kind of curated to your needs. Get that cute planner and start decorating, because that's what's gonna get you excited into bullet journaling and kind of get that practice until you are kind of ready to make your own spreads. T's left? No. That one broke. Nice. I like these cute little stickers, but they keep breaking on me, and it's kind of frustrating because I'm running out of the letters I need. Any J's? Yes, I do. Nice. Or just you accidentally grab the papery part too. Come on. Your stickers. Work for me. So yeah. That one tore. Fun. I need an L. No. Okay, I got one L left. Perfect, because this is the last one we're doing. Oh, it's stuck. Heck. Okay. There's like a sticker that I guess came with this sticker pack to hold it closed or together to something else, and it was stuck on the L. I was about to lose it. S. Nice juicy S right here. Yeah. These are just random scrapbooking stickers, by the way, that I got. You can probably get them either at Joann's, Michael's, your local craft store, you know. Any fun stickers you want. Okay. The next journal. So we're going to be using this black one. It just says love across it multiple times, and a black pen. Lots of black ones. I tried to pick washi tapes and colors that kind of work with it. And like, for example, my romance journal, the washi tape I chose for it is based off one of Van Gogh's paintings that we have hanging up in our house. So I figured it'd be perfect. And it's his one with like the cherry blossoms all across it, if you guys are wondering. Now these spreads, they're not as cute as my other ones. They're just kind of messy, but I'm okay with that. I like them that way. So, why did I pick all these nice black colors? Because it's a black notebook that we're doing next, and it's just my personal journal. You guys seen this one multiple times. I use it at the end of every stream to kind of do my journaling prompts, and I've been using it more this month for personal journaling. So I'm not really going to create a list of what I put in here, just because I put in here what I put in here when I need it. So in the future, if you guys do want, either put it in the chat now, or you can message me on Instagram saying you want more monthly journaling prompts, and I can do that type of thing as well. And so we'll do a nice little flip through of this one. So this was given to me by my grandparents in 2019, and I just wanted to make sure they wanted me. My grandma's very obsessed into journaling, and that's kind of how I got into it. Or it's kind of in my genetics from her to be into journaling. So she gave each of us a journal, and so a little message and stuff. She's very sentimental, and she wanted us to use it for personal journaling, so I didn't touch it until I actually used it for that purpose. And so it just, each page itself, we'll come to a blank one, just a little half line here for date, a title, area, bunch of lines, and then like a nice little scripture or quote at the bottom. She probably got this at Deseret Book, because that's where you can get most of the stuff, these type of journals with scripture quotes in it. So the spreads are kind of done. I did a Halloween one here. This is a Thanksgiving one where, yeah, I just kind of talked. This one was me talking about what I did with my monthly challenge of getting rid of something every day. So that was that spread. And I got a leaf from outside in it, all taped in. This is, I journaled this at my grandparents' every year, for Thanksgiving, they do you kind of write your goals, things you're thankful for, and you write a letter to your future self, and you seal it. So I put mine in here, in this journal, and I talked about that day and things I'm thankful for. On this lovely side, I think I was also around my grandparents at this time. I wrote a list of traditions, and I talked about why they matter to me, and kind of the traditions I do and the traditions I want to do. This one I wrote at the beginning of spring semester. There are some goals that I just wanted to do, and I've kind of been working on them right here. And then this one I wrote on Earth Day, which is kind of me talking about why I care for the planet. I had some questions: how do I recycle? What do you want to do? That type of thing. This was in May, so this is like, what's your favorite self-care activity? I'm pretty sure this was my first journaling prompt on stream, so this was where this one came from. And I like that I'm journaling stream because I'm using this more. Another stream prompt, so you guys can look back at all my previous streams on like YouTube and stuff, and you can find all of these in there. And then here is my lovely July of journaling prompts, and I'll do a cute little flip through of the ones that I've done so you guys can see a sneak peek at all the journaling I've done. Some spreads are cuter than others and all that jazz. And one thing I've done just with this month's journaling prompts is if I come to a point where it's like I've answered the question and I don't really want to add more to it, I'll kind of put in this line and talk more about what happened in my day. And I've done that about twice now. So we'll come back to this journal at the end of the stream for today's journaling prompt. Okay. Next one. Next journal, next spread. Journal number 14. This one is also one you guys will recognize fairly well. A lot of my stream journaling has been done in this journal and such. So, yeah. Okay. And this is my yearly journal. This one I do need to make a list for. There's a lot of stuff in here that I want to keep. I want to kind of talk about such. I also have my Sigma light pink, and then this washi tape that just says hello beautiful, but we are going to cut it off at the U, so it only says hello beautiful. Hello beautiful. That's what you should say to someone that is beautiful, like your next friend, family. Just go up to them and be like, hey beautiful. Do it. I dare you. But yeah. So here we go. You guys should know this one. It's my yearly journal. So we're going to do my necessary and pages to update. And so this one is a happy planner notebook. And if you're learning to get into bullet journaling, use happy planner notebooks and planners because they give cute, pretty, empty journals with matching sticker packs that kind of teach you how to bullet journal in a sense. I highly recommend them for that purpose. So this is one of their notebooks. I think it was meant to be used as like a half bullet journal or half planner. So I just kind of use it for my own purposes. It's got some tabs on the side here. So I just wrote the year. Nice cover page. This is the last time used page. So I'll put that on my pages to update. And that's going to go. I have a gratitude page. And so this is yearly gratitude of just things that have happened, and I have 5 more slots to fill in before the end of the year, so I got to get into that. It has a habit tracker. So that I have. Next is just kind of like, this page had a lot of boxes, so I tried to fill them up. This one has my yearly goals in it, positive affirmations, information about recycling I like, some yearly to-dos, lovely quotes here, Insta ideas, monthly habits, reading journal pages, and some sodas that I like. But we'll update that later. Okay. And then this one is like a list of things to watch or read. So, to watch, read, bucket. And I also have the bucket list at the bottom. So, shows I want to watch, books I want to read. I haven't done a lot, but we're working on it. We're getting through it. Next is one of my plans. I had a goal to graduate this year, but I realized I can't. But this is a good way where I can track my classes. Next, we have a year at a glance. Just gonna flip through that one real quick. But I will. Add that there. This one I started putting quotes in here. I don't know what to do. I'll do for it next month, but yeah. Some more habits and all that jazz. Whole habits, all that jazz. Here's my reading page. And this kind of like last bit of goals and habits here. So yeah. Just kind of page for each of them. I have my 2021 Spotify wrap up, so I kind of have like all the songs here and then some stats on this side. A schedule, my class schedule, and then this is like, these are the doc grid sizes for my other one. Here's just a list of recipes that I want to try and all that jazz. So, and then stationery shopping. So these are some stationery that I specifically want to buy from certain companies, so that's just kind of listed here. Spiritual growth, we have some scriptures I want to read and some journaling prompts. So that's that. We have some challenges that I want to do. So if you guys are wondering, I'll like see challenges online and I'll take screenshots of them and kind of write them down here. And so if I want to do them, I'll like show them to you guys and stuff. Or I'll kind of like be like, okay, I do like the idea of like doodling a day, so I'll kind of make my own one based on what I've learned from this one. And that type of thing. And then my page of writing prompts as well. It's just for me to go through and when I come up with writing prompts. Here's my using up stationery spread. So, for those of you who don't know, basically, if I like run out of pen, marker, washi tape, I got stickers on this side, I kind of write it down, and then so the goal is that I do not buy new washi tape or stationery until I have used up. So I can't buy a new pen until I've used up at least one. Same goes for notebooks, stickers, etc. Just to kind of calm my habits. This is my writing playlist. We made this together. I'm very happy with it. And we got my halfway stats. I just showed you guys this on Instagram. I posted it these past few days. Here are the templates as well. And here we are with our bullet journals and stuff. So that's how we've been using that. Popping that in there. So, and I got that journal. I like getting Happy Planner stuff at Michael's or Joann's, mostly because they always have stuff on sale. Like Michael's and Joann's are always having sales. So if you need to buy stationery or art supplies, go there. And then always get their app as well because they always have coupons. And so I like going there for either holiday stuff or stationery because like, okay, Happy Planner sticker packs, they're like 20 bucks each, going to 25 I think. Their prices have raised. So I highly suggest going to Joann's because then you can get them for cheaper. I know for a fact that I have over $200. I think I'm more like to $250, $260 in Happy Planner sticker packs. Like, that's how much money I've technically spent on it. But most of it, I have either gone through deals, holidays, or like gifts and stuff. So it's like, it's pretty easy to get, really cheap, and all that jazz. So get your planning supplies there. If you're like, oh, I need lots of planning supplies and cheap, especially Happy Planner stuff. Next, we got, this is the final notebook of today's streams. We'll be finishing up just over 2 hours, I think, after this. We talk about this notebook and stuff. And this notebook is the one you've all been waiting for, the one you know best. My monthly planner. So this one I'm also not really going to put like pages, and I'll put pages to update, because I already know the necessary pages I do for this one. Because I make the same pages every month. Okay, so we'll do a flip through, and as I flip through, kind of journal the pages I need to update. First things first, in our cover, we have this nice fold out that has my morning routine and evening routine, so when I'm open to my weeklies, I can see this right then and there. We got my January 2022 set up, and that theme was just kind of gray black with any type of stickers I want, so I just kind of pulled out all my stickers and colors. So here are some of my spreads. They get super messy after I use them, so cherish the clean ones I post on Instagram. And then I got my February one, which was like these pink and green flowers. I'm gonna flip through this one very fast because sometimes there's some personal things in it. Got my March, where I made my custom stickers and stuff, and it was my CMYK theme, which is the 4 colors that printers use and stuff. And my April one, which was food themed, so I used different food stickers each month, each week essentially. So this is the first page I need to update. There's a YouTuber called Yoga with Adrienne. She has a 30-day yoga challenge, and so I've been wanting to do it, I just haven't, so this is kind of my unused spread. And I will say it is 100% okay if you do not finish a spread, okay? Sometimes life gets busy. Sometimes you just can't bullet journal as much because there's a lot of effort into bullet journaling. A lot of time. Here's my May stationery theme. This spread was inspired by Men Who Bullet. We love that. Very colorful. Wild. Yeah. This is an old content planner. Here's my soda shop challenge at the beginning. Now my June one. This is more, I picked out a washi and I matched everything else to it. So yeah. I really like this one the most. But yeah. So this one is another one I got to update, and it's just my vitamin D tracker to make sure I take it. And this one we made together on the stream, and it is my exercise tracker. I haven't kept up with it a lot this month, but I've gone on a couple walks, so I will take that. Here's the end of my soda shop challenge. This one is a gym workout tracker, so if I do go to gym, I'll write the day I went. I'll go on the treadmill, talk about how far I went, how many calories, and how long I was on there, and what those calories equal, just so like I can kind of see like, okay, I burned about like 1 can of Mountain Dew or something, which is fine. And my July pages this month. Here's this first week. The other ones I've started to get filled in as things go on. I got family visiting and all that jazz. Yeah. But that is it for this journal. And that is it for this spread as a whole. So let's pop this page back in its proper notebook, and then we'll kind of just do a flip through all of them. And then we'll get to our journaling prompt. So, first we made this one with my watching journal, my spiritual journal, my writing practice, my reading journal, and my writing planner. Then we also did my notes book, my scrapbook journal, a romance journal, a sketchbook, a design journal, a page-a-day notebook, content and book review journal, and then we ended with my personal journal, a yearly journal, and my monthly planner. So those are the bullet journals I use. Let me know if you guys like what bullet journals you use. If you just use the normal bullet journal, I would love to know that. Or if you like have a journal and a bullet journal and a personal journal, I'd love to know that as well. Also, feel free to pop in the chat if you have any of these journals that you kind of want to see more of, want to see me make more spreads of. I'd love to know so that I can plan those streams for you guys. I don't want to just have the same type of streams each month. I want to give you guys some variety. So tell me any spreads or styles you want to see. And all that jazz. And do not forget, if you guys do want to see any of my previous streams as well, I have put my YouTube in the chat along with my Instagram so you guys can see all my bullet journaling content. But it is now time for the most important part of the stream. At least for me, it's the most important. It is today's journaling prompt. So, first things first, I am putting in the chat, it is a link to to the Google Doc with all the journaling prompts I've created and stuff. And so, like, for the month of July, so for the July challenge, you can also find it on my Instagram, that there's that for you. And since today is 9th, that means today's journaling prompt is, tell the story of the most important person in your life so far, and how have they influenced you. So let me put that in the chat. Give it a minute to load because it's kind of being slow. But yeah, so if you guys do want to join me on this month of journaling, you guys totally can. And if you're willing, I would love to see, like, if you post your spreads or your journaling, I would love to see it, and I would totally share it. Just don't forget to tag me. I'm still waiting for this to type. It's being really slow. I am so sorry, guys. My internet is not the best here. Okay. There's the prompt. Let's take a quick look at what I have today. So, here's a whole spread with all the journaling prompts. Let's go to a fresh page. I'll be using, this is from the Happy Planner Disney pack. I'm just using these light pink stickers. I want to finish this one up. I'll also be using the Hello Beautiful one again. This is from the Amanda H. Lee acrylograph set and is the Peak Quartz. And I also have my Sippa pen that is also a light pink. So, I'll give you guys 10 to 15 minutes. Get journaling. if you guys are still writing, keep going. I won't stop you. Just keep going, nice and good. I'll tell you guys a little about my spread and stuff. I wrote about my dad. I kind of start off by talking about like all the things he taught me and how he's influenced me, and then I ended with some information about him. And so, kind of why I picked this prompt is so that in the future, and with a lot of these prompts, is that if my kids ever found this journal, they'd be able to kind of get some memories from me and stuff, or they could ask me about stuff, so here they can kind of learn about how my dad influenced me and what kind of person he was. But that is going to be it for today's streams. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. I always have a good time here. I love like taking this time every Saturday just to kind of sit down and bullet journal, and then also have that time to just kind of journal for myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's streams. If you guys do make any of my spreads, or you kind of journal and you want to share it with me, I would love to see it. You can just send me a picture. Great. 10 out of 10. Or if you like post it, don't forget to tag me. I would love to see it as well there. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you later.